Boom. Let's go. We're going to start off with and by the way, every single day, every Monday to Friday, rather, I'm publishing this deal list. It'll always include anywhere from 3 to 4 opportunities. They're fully underwritten. We look for things like asset quality, neighborhood quality, cash flow, and vacancy risk. These are the things that we're trying to solve for in order to really make sure that our client base is getting a great product. So let's go ahead and dive into this, and we'll be able to kind of take you through and let you guys see what we see as we go through each one of these deals. Make sure that my screen is still sharing here. All right. Bum, bum, bum. So first one that we've got. This is a brand new construction duplex at $475,000 with a $4,900 a month tenant already locked in, which means that it's clearing the 1% rule right from day one. This is the kind of deal that a lot of our investors, they're always looking for. I get a lot of calls for this type of product. They're looking for newer construction, off market, already leased. They want no utilities paid by the owner, and the income is already in place on this one in particular through June of 2027. I have the redacted leases already placed here. So you're not buying a vacant pro forma deal here. You're buying a brand new duplex with $4,900 in rent already locked in, and comps on this one all support a value right around $500,000. So you're walking into an equity position as well. The risk with this deal is that the income depends entirely on a single tenant who's running their Airbnb business from this. It's an Airbnb arbitrage style deal. So if the operator fails, then that 1% rule deal all of a sudden turns into a normal lease up problem overnight. And we did run all of the comps. We did look at all of the comparable rentals. I do think that pulling, right around, say, what is this, $2,750 a month or $2,850 a month per side. That is, or what is this? $2,450 a month. Yeah, that is higher than market rate by about $200. So I do think that there's a potential downside with locking in a lease and expecting it to continue to pull 4,900. But the current setup, this will give you at least 12 to 24 months of an excellent owner operator in place, consistent income, no risk on day one in terms of having a 90-day vacancy. So this is a great one to consider if you're looking for a totally turnkey play, new construction in a high growth corridor. Deal number 2 that we're working with here, this one is, let's see what we got next. Deal number 2, this one here is a 2022 built Fort Worth duplex that realistically you're buying this for about $50,000 below the assessed value. This one at actually the tax assessed value already is at $490,000 or $480,000. So this is one where you're going to be able to walk into a real equity position. One unit is already leased out for $1,950 a month, and the assessed value or the seller realistically I think is going to take something in the realm of $430,000. So you're walking in below value, cash flow, recently constructed, right near downtown Fort Worth. So I think that you've got a great opportunity to have a very low vacancy, low capex, high cash flow style deal right out of the gate. The danger is that the equity only matters if the rent and resale market agrees with it. So the Fort Worth duplex buyer, you're not paying for like fantasy numbers right now. You have to make sure that appraised value also comes in right around that $480,000 to $490,000 number, which I'm relatively confident that it will. Next deal, we've got a Mesquite. This is a $412,000 fully furnished home near Dallas that has already proved it can produce over $100,000 a year on Airbnb. We already have the confirmed revenue. So the exciting part is definitely the revenue history. That's not something that we see very often, especially on a $400,000 home. Usually a $400,000 home is going to produce closer to, say, in the realm of like $80,000 a year. This one's at 100, so it's materially better. Fully furnished. It has a pool. This is the type that can work for a large family stay, corporate retreat housing. So a lot of exits work for this particular product. The nightmare version of this one is pretty simple. You buy it assuming that it's going to produce $100,000, and then the short-term and rental income doesn't repeat itself due to more than likely operator error, or maybe there's some sort of major macro shift in the market. So this is classic Airbnb risk. The 2024 revenue is very strong, but you need to understand exactly why it happened. Was it the pricing? Was it the management? Did they have a couple of really good reviews? Did they have a couple of big insurance placements that juiced up revenue while decreasing expenses? So we have to do some deeper due diligence on it just to confirm. And then the last one, my favorite deal on the list. This one had a major price reduction. It was originally posted over $400,000. This is a Texas State University duplex that can hit the 1% rule in one of the strongest growth corridors, I think, in the entire state, right along the I-35 corridor between Austin and San Antonio. This is one where the seller will actually lease it up prior to closing. It had previously leased for $1,850 per unit per month. And if you end up landing this right at $375,000, it'll be a true 1% rule style deal right next to Texas State University, which is about 45,000 students. The biggest risk is that student rentals can look really, really good on paper. But if leasing timing goes wrong, then the vacancy can get really difficult to absorb. So, for example, if you were to close this one now, or if you were to go ahead and put this under contract today, that means that you're ultimately going to be leasing it up in like the June, July timeframe. Most of the student rentals, this is one that has to be moved on like now. Most of the student rentals are either already leased up or they're on their way to being leased up. So this is one where I think the seller is probably super motivated because they know the same thing with student housing that everybody else does. If you're not filled up by the end of July, you're likely not gonna fill that unit, or if you are, it's gonna be dramatically below fair market values. So I think this seller right now is super motivated. There's not a single duplex in this entire area that is priced lower than this one. And he will lease it up prior to closing because realistically, you're going to need him to go ahead and post it for rent as soon as you guys go under contract in order to lease it out to the students who are over there at TSU. The biggest risk is that student rentals can also obviously have a lot of repairs and ongoing turnover. So that component of it definitely needs to be into your calculus as well. So there's your 4 deals. You've got an excellent walk-in equity opportunity on your Fort Worth duplex. This one I think is really nice just in terms of equity position. I think we've got another really nice opportunity for elevated cash flows on this Airbnb. And then we have a really nice, the lowest sale price duplex in San Marcos on this Texas State University duplex. That can be done totally turnkey, fully operating prior to closing. So you got a lot of good opportunities, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Always feel free to reach out. I'm always available via email, call, text. I send out a deal distribution list like this every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So glad to work with you guys. Shoot me a question if you need anything, and I can't wait to work with you. It's Victor.